Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and in this video here I'm going to be talking about my swamp base in Kenshi. So here's the location of my swamp base, and I think I have found probably one of the best locations in the swamp. It is nice and central. It's by three towns: the Gray Flayer Village, the Mud Town, and Shark. And this location right here has I think 4 iron nodes and 2 copper nodes, right? Yeah, here's 1 copper over here that I don't use. And then you also have 2 iron over here, as well as this 1 copper right there. And then I also have 2 iron nodes back here that I don't use as well. Aside from those resources and the proximity to the villages, this location is good for... or I should say, you can basically make everything you would want to make at this location. If you want to make, skeleton repair kits or robotics limbs, you got all of the resources to do that here. You also can grow a lot of different crops here, since this is a, what is it? It's swamp and what? It's just swamp, 100% swamp. The one thing that sucks about this location a little bit is there is no wind here, so you will need to use a generator and biofuel power. But that's okay because we can grow hemp here, which is used in biofuel anyway. It does say no stone on this prospecting tab, but don't worry about that. As long as you have a big enough base like mine, you can get stone in it. Like you can see, I have a stone pile over here, and the efficiency on this stone pile is, I think, like 35% when I built it. I think that's what it was. What does this say? It says 50% stone richness. I don't know what that means. But when I built the stone over there, it was like 35%, I'm fairly certain, which isn't too bad because you only need stone somewhat. Once you get all the building materials you need, you don't really need the stone anymore anyway. The other things are more important. Since it is raining here 100% of the time, your crops will always be watered. You don't have to worry about watering your own crops. So you only have to worry about harvesting them and then turning them into whatever you want to turn them into. Since we are in the swamp, this base is very, very good for, like I said, sake production, hash production, rice bowls, and it's basically a good middle of the game base to get stocked up on everything that you need and start moving into the end game, is, in my honest opinion, what this base would be best for. Also, since we're producing a lot of fabrics from the hemp, we can make med kits here in mass as well. One good thing about making med kits, too, is it will raise field medic skill, which is useful for your characters that are primarily just your scouts/combat characters, because them having a higher field medic skill will be quite useful out in the field. So as far as all of my buildings and what I do, this building here covers mostly metal production. On the top floor I have some beds too, and as you can see I have lots of batteries. This covers the fabric production plus power. It also covers an arrow making bench in there. And this building is going to be the last building I put together, which is a bunch of MISC crafting stations, which I'm mostly doing for guide writing purposes. Over here is my sake production and my cooking oven. And then over by all of my iron and copper, I have the iron refinery, steel refinery, and all of that stuff. So, since there's a red saber raid moving towards my base, let me explain what you're going to be encountering in this area too. Stone rats and red sabers are going to bother you once every like 4 days. Stone rats, the first time they approach you, they will offer you to leave you alone. Well, they'll offer to quote-unquote protect you if you pay them. And essentially, they're protecting you from themselves. And it costs 3,500 cats if you pay them off the first time, and I think 3,500 cats every consecutive time. If you ever deny paying them, they'll attack you, and then every other time after that, they will end up attacking your base. So that's what I did this time, basically. Now, the stone rats, like I said, here's the red saber raid. I'll show it to you. It's hard to see since it's night, but you can see how many they have here. They have about probably 20 guys with them. However, the red sabers are kind of low in stats. They're low 20s, mid-teens, so they're no issue for my characters. I'll take them out without much trouble at all. As far as the stone rats, they are a bit harder. Stone rats have stats in the 50s, sometimes, and in the high 40s, low 50s, and they will wipe your entire base if you are not well prepared. You can see a lot of my characters are injured right now. Some of them are missing limbs, and that's from stone rats that raid my base. Now, one thing about stone rats too is they will go straight for your food store. So any food you have in your food store, the stone rats will run straight towards it, and they will loot it and take everything. And it is very, very annoying. Very, very annoying that they do this. You can alleviate this one of two ways. One, you can keep food on your pack mule, and they won't take it off the pack mule. Two, when they start running into your base, when you see them arrive at your base, offload all your food into one of your character's inventories or into a general storage chest. If I remember correctly, they do not take it out of the general storage chest. They'll only take it out of the food store. Of course, the other way to fix this is to basically run straight at, is to intercept them before they get to your food store. You can't always do this, though. Let me give Griffin a leg, because I need to trade with Pack Mule. As far as what you want to do with your swamp base, I would honestly recommend sake production. Make as much sake as you possibly can. Make as many rice bowls as you possibly can, too. Sake you can sell for a lot of money. Rice bowls you need for feeding your characters. Once you get, I think it's ancient science books, and you unlock hash production, I would recommend that you primarily manufacture hash at this location. Hash is one of the best, it's basically the drug in this game, and you can sell it for a lot of money in certain places. In Flats Lagoon, Morn, and I think Katoon, you can sell hash for plus 400% sell value, and it sells for about 700 cats a piece in each of those locations. It is very, very, very good to get a hash rotation up where you basically make it here and then sell it in those locations. You'll be able to make enough money to afford basically everything that you want to buy and need to buy in this game, which is a lot of stuff. Most of our, unless you make your Masterwork armor, you're going to need to buy Masterwork armor from the Armor King. And you're also going to probably need to buy other things like skeletal limbs until you can make them on your own. But anyway, that's really... Oh yeah, the last thing I can mention is these swamp raptors. They're going to be the other thing that attacks you at your swamp base. Basically, so long as you grow crops where these raptors roam, they will come into your base and try to eat your crops. And they're pretty easy to take care of, like you just seen me do there. You'll have to fight them, though, each time they crawl on into your base. But one thing that I like about swamp and fighting all of these people that raid your base is it gives you a lot of combat stat increases, and it also gives you a lot of toughness increases. The only thing, though, is you'll basically have to leave all of your characters in your base for quite a while until you level up high enough. But that's okay, because the base has everything we need anyway. We can make all the food we need to survive here. We can make tons of different things for money. Electrical components, skeleton repair kits, which are very, very good to sell in the surrounding swamp, because they sell for a premium in the swamp, especially skeleton repair kits. You can usually sell them for like 115% price markup or more. And those are about all the benefits for being in the swamp. I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, leave me a like, because that helps me out. And aside from that, I will catch you guys around in future Kenshi videos. Peace out.